What's up guys, the Armstrong Fishing. So today I'm going to be doing a catfish starter kit video. Everything you need to get started on catfishing, right? So first we'll start with the rods. You're going to need a pretty durable rod. You don't have to use these, but these are whisker seeker rods. I'm running 80-pound braid. I'm running PC Fun bait casters. And I'm running 8-aught hooks with a 3-ounce weight to a 100-pound leader. So this is not your average setup. I fish for trophy catfish, right? And that's a topic for later on, but this is something to get you started. You can downsize all of this, but this will get you started here. And on another rod, I have what they call a Santee Cooper rig here. Again, 8-aught hook. I got a spook on there, 100-pound leader, 3-ounce weight with a swivel. Same rod, just a little different bait caster, but it's the same with 80-pound braid. So let's talk about bait. So when you're fishing for catfish, let's say you fish for trophy catfish or even regular catfish, man, people use chicken liver, minnows, worms, but the best bait to use is what comes out of the lake or the river you fishing in. So you're gonna need a cast net. You can get the cheap cast nets at Walmart. I suggest the cheap ones if you're gonna be bank fishing, because if you get an expensive cast net and you're casting it from the bank, you're gonna lose it because there's a bunch of rocks, trees, and stuff you can't see in the water. So get one of those cheap ones at Walmart, 3/8 mesh, 5 foot or 3 foot. If you're a beginner, get a 3 foot. But the best size in those cheaper cast nets are the 6 foot. I say they're the best because when you cast it out, you do get it hung up. These little lines on here, they'll break, and when they break, all you gotta do is just retie, find where it broke at, and just run it back through here all the way down to the weights. Pretty much it. You don't really need rod holders when you're fishing from the bank to get started. You can get you like a little stick or something, put it in the ground and prop your rods up. But what you're gonna need if you do that is a pretty good drag system. So you hear that? I can just let the fish run with that rod, because if you don't, you end up getting a big one, you could lose it. Well, a lot of people don't believe in using big baits. I use big baits year round. So if you're going to be targeting trophy catfish, I suggest using a big bait. And I'm not saying like this, I'm talking about like this. The most obnoxious piece of bait that you can use, right? That's what I do. That's why I can constantly catch trophy. Fishing for catfish is location, guys. I fish in Texas, right? Texas is a very, very overfished place to fish all over Texas, because people like to fish, right? So if you know these things, you got to know how to target specific spots. And what I target is structure year round, because fish live in structure year round. All I can say is about finding structure from fishing from the bank without using the electronics is, say like you casting out, you fishing the spot, right? This is how I learned, and it just takes time. So you cast out, and you let your weight sink to the bottom, and what you're doing is you just reeling it back. And if you feel like logs and trees and rocks on the bottom when that weight is hitting, that's where you want to fish at. If you feel nothing, then move. So fishing takes time, and not just casting out and trying to catch a fish. It takes time to find the right spot, effort to find the right spot, man. Like, you gotta fish a lot of spots, and if you fish a spot that's heavily fished by other people, stay away from it. Just don't fish there. They're gonna be old snag lines, old lures on the bottom, like just a bunch of trash and stuff around. So the key for you is to go find a spot that nobody really fishes. It's hard to do, and it takes a little work, but that's how you target the big fish. They're gonna fish where everybody else fishes. That's just how humans are. So what I do is I go find a spot that they can't get to, or it's hard for them to get there. That's how you maintain and you fish high percentage areas to where you can find the structure. You can find the rocks on the bottom. You can find the logs. Because a lot of people don't take time to do that, because That's why social media is so popular these days, because people aren't trying to go put in the work. But if you go put in the work, you will find a big fish. So you got the rods, you got the cast net. Now all you got to do is go catch the fish. And honestly, guys, it don't have to be nighttime to go catch them. You can catch them in the daytime. I normally catch my fish from this time of year, from October until like December. From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. is your window to catch big catfish, because they're feeding at that time. Don't you get hungry at that time? Even in the morning. Say like you go out from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Same thing. That's just the feeding windows. Like bass, catfish, crappie are weird, but the crappie bite all throughout the day. But catfish and bass kind of go hand in hand. The feeding windows are in the morning, they're in the afternoon. You can get lucky later on in the night for flathead and stuff like that, but for the most part, the bite shuts off at around 9:30. But I hope these tips helped y'all. If y'all like the video, like and share, and I'll catch y'all next time.